Hi, I am Muhammad Abdul Hamid Alawi Banto. I am a fourth year AB English student from the Mindanao State University main campus, Marawi City. The topic assigned to me is the Torogan. The Torogan is the traditional house built by the Maranao people of the Lanao area, or the area around Lake Lanao, the second largest lake in the Philippines. The Torogan was a symbol of high social status, and as such, they were traditionally residences of the sultans and the datus and other nobilities of the Maranao community. But though one may think that the Maranao Torogan is merely a residence or a house of the sultans or traditional leaders of the Maranaos, it is much more than that. From our research and interviews, we found out what the Torogan meant for the Maranaos. So in this video, I am going to be taking you all the parts and aspects of what makes the Torogan a Torogan and how all of these parts contribute to what we know of Maranao culture.
In deliberating as to which Torogan we could visit, we consulted national researchers and folklorists' accounts. They unanimously declare 3 traditional Torogans that have kept their architecture intact, even while they have stood for more than a century. First is the Laginda Torogan of Ganas, which is the one in the saddest state of disrepair, though one could still observe its panolongs and okir designs through the ruins. The Kawayan Torogan, built by the Sultan sa Kawayan Makaantal, is said to be the only traditional Torogan still habitable. And the Dayawan Torogan, an original Torogan that was renovated in 1992. This Torogan became the object of our visit, owing to its still observable architecture, historical, and cultural significance. It was even recognized by the National Historical Commission as a National Heritage Landmark, which led to its renovation and use as a museum in 1992. As such, it is the Torogan featured in this video. Through our observations, research, and interviews, we touched upon the cultural significance behind its structure and parts, showing us how the Torogan is, as one of our informants spoke of, the cradle of Maranao culture as a whole. For example, it is not only the residence of the nobility, but a meeting hall and a social hall for community gatherings like weddings, coronations of datus and bayalabis, and clan gatherings on the death of a member of their clan. While these weddings, meetings, and disputes are settled inside the Torogan's interior, much of the celebrations that cannot be held inside are done outside or in the lana or in the yard. These are where games such as the Kasipasamangis or traditional dances such as the Singkil are performed during these celebrations. We then move on to what holds the Torogan intact. The tukods or posts, usually 25 in number. These tukods were made out of tree trunks and traditionally were supported by stones underneath to protect them from the numerous earthquakes that shake Lanao del Sur. Since they elevate the Torogan itself, there is a space underneath it called the dorong. This open space underneath is used as a place for cooking and as a playground for children. Now let's discuss a very important part of the Torogan. The panolong are decorative end beams styled with the okir and the distinctive naga. Though the panolong on a Torogan is commonly seen as a symbol of power and authority, our interview suggested that there is a superstitious belief surrounding this panolong. There is a reason why the panolongs are only put at one side of the Torogan. It is said by our informants that the panolongs are placed at the side of the Torogan which faces the sun. This is because the naga on the end of these panolongs are meant to absorb or eat the energy of the sun and spread it out to the inhabitants and the interior of the Torogan to bring good luck. The Torogan is also often decorated by the okir. The okir is a geometric and flowing design motif that is usually based off of plants such as ferns. The okir, along with the panolong, are often seen to be what distinguishes the Torogan from other Maranao traditional houses. As such, you would not only see the Okir decorating the archways or the exterior of the Torogan, but also its furniture. It is even found on cooking utensils such as the buwaywa, layama sa tiatag, kokoran, and the gantang, to name a few. You can also observe that the Torogan's interior has no partitions or walls or rooms. It is simply an open space, not only because it is also used as a social hall or a meeting place, but also because it promotes, as our informants have mentioned, unity and openness to one another, especially among family members. In this way, the Sultan or the head of the house can watch over and guide all his family members, including his wives and children, who in turn can learn values and proper conduct from each other, the Sultan, and visitors. But though there are no partitions, the beds of the inhabitants are covered with kulambo or canopy and divided by baur or chests, and the Sultan's bed or pangaw takes up the place of honor or sundigan, which is an elevated space in the Turugan. His wife usually sleeps in his bed, but as many sultans and nobles had more wives, each one had a schedule to sleep in the sultan's bed, which only shows the reverence and honor afforded to the sultan or the head of the household. Finally, one of the most culturally telling aspects of the Turugan is the lamin, or a secluded room or dormitory for the sultan's daughter or daughters, with only small shuttered peepholes for windows. This part of the Turugan represents the Mranao's conservative religious and cultural views towards women, especially how they should not be seen by any other than their families and husbands. With that, I think it is clear as to why Mranaos, including our informants, hold the Turugan in high regard. This is because every part, structure, and aspect of it has significance, weight, and bearing on who they are as people. The Torogan, truly, is not merely a royal house. It is the origin, the center, and the cradle of Maranao life.